Hey guys, High Hopes here, using the YouTube name HoSK Revival, because I'm going to show you a Warcraft 3 uh, custom map called HoSK, also known as Hands of the Sorrow Knight. I really like this map. It's a AOS type map where you customize your own hero, you take towers, you push to the base. It's a lot like DOTA, a lot like League of Legends. This is probably my favorite map of all time. A very close second would be Custom Hero Line Wars. I love those custom hero games, and this Warcraft just makes so many good custom hero games. So we're gonna start it up. It's a 5v5 or 4v4. Right now it's a 1v0 because I'm not playing against anyone. I'm just gonna show you guys pretty much what it's about because eventually I would like to get a couple games going. You know. I can't host personally anymore. I used to be able to, but it starts screwing up QuickBooks, and I just don't want that happening anymore. Um, there's a lot of different modes to select from. You got your superhero gold mode, you got your all pick, you got your all random, you got your single lane, your duo lane, your bonuses and everything. But I'm not gonna put anything on right now because I don't think it works in single player. But I'm just gonna put start, and it'll throw me into the hero select. You got a bunch of different ones. I don't think that Calamore and the Lordion actually mean anything. Northrend, maybe the style of them. I'm not really sure. But you get your standard, your melee warlock. You got your chieftain, wizard, paladins over here. You get your dwarf. Got some in the works. I think there's 50 heroes as of right now. If I did my math right, 50 heroes. 2 in the works, so 52 total coming up next patch. And yeah, I think the next patch is coming through sometime soon. So it would be nice to get some games in before then. Yeah, you get your assassin, you got your druid and everything, but I'm going to pick the paladin. Every hero has an innate skill. The paladin's is the paladin's heal. Uh, if you were to pick like the assassin or the dark one, they'd come up with a different innate skill. Like I think the assassin has a windwalk, and the dark one has raised dead. You get stuff like that. The war dropper has a summon. But yeah, you come here to the offensives, and if you've played any sort of custom hero game, you know what this is all about. You get your first offensive weapon. You got like a stun. You got like a spikes up your butt type thing going. You got your parasite and your DOT, which I really like the DOTs. Poison quake. I'm kind of torn here because I'm a paladin, but really no paladin type skills here. You got some cyclones and your fairy fires. So I'm gonna go for a shadow drain. I'm gonna be an evil paladin. Uh, and then you come to the supportive actions. You got your heals, you got your buffs. Essentially, that's what it is: heals and buffs, and other goodies you can think of. Like the alchemy one, which gives you potions to put in your inventory, which is really nice for early game, and that's really all these supportive actions are good for anyway, unless you're you're looking into like adrenaline or holy save or something, which makes you invulnerable. Adrenaline doesn't. Adrenaline resets the cooldown of your offensive abilities. So if you really like the one you picked, you pick out adrenaline and you can essentially double it. There's a little bit of a cast time, I believe, though. A 1.1 second cast time. Transmute. You got a bunch of different cool stuff here, but I'm going to go with Dark Sacrifice to complement my evil paladin build. Alright, and then you come to the ultimates. You can pick 2 ultimates out of, I believe every character has 8. The paladin's ultimates are Divine Shield, Heal All. He's got 2 different buffs, buffs, not puffs. Increase attack speed, increase armor and damage, stuff like that. Since this is a single player game, I'm not going to pick any sort of buff. Normally I would. I'm just going to go with my evil paladin type build as I have it already, and I'm going to take the nuke, and I'm going to take the blink. So here we go. Alright, so you spawn here and buy your items. These big tomes, also shops. So you start over here, you got your consumables, which the crow is always a good thing to buy because it's essentially a storage box, and you can fly it around to yourself, so you don't always have to come back. You will heal yourself if you do come back, but it's so far away, and you really only have 3 teleports. I mean, you could always buy more, but it takes up space, so it's not always worth it. You see this little plus sign here, and there's also a plus sign here. That has to do with your passives and your attributes. You start off with 15 attribute points. I am a strength-based hero, so I'm going to put a lot into strength. Seeing as though this isn't competitive, I'm not going to diversify myself at all. I'm just going to put it all into strength. You also get a passive point for every green plus you put into. You got your pure attack, your special attack, your supports, self bonuses, casting negatives. There are a lot of different possibilities here, and each character has the same passives, unlike the ultimates. So this is more like the offensive and the supportive abilities that you picked, and not so much like the ultimate and the innate skill. So I'm going to pick, complementing my evil paladin, enemy ranged units damage you when they attack you. That's a good one. That's kind of an evil one. But yeah, here we go. We got some recipes and la-di-da-di-da. Not really going to do any of this because it's a single player game. But these are your basic items, and they become recipe items. The recipe items can be made into mysticals and legendaries. Mysticals can be bought up front for a large amount of money, 7,300. Whereas legendaries have to be made into recipes. Brings me to how long these games usually are. They're usually somewhere between 45 and an hour and 45. They sometimes can get pretty long if you've got 2 people on the same on opposite teams. They're quite good, but usually it's over before an hour. So you see we're pushing middle lane right here. The other, may as well just focus on this lane. Since I picked the passive first, I don't have any sort of offensive. I'm just trying to level up so I can show you guys what these look like. Each time one of these things dies, there's like a 5% chance that it drops an item. A lot of times it can be like a drake egg, which will spawn a low-level dragon at your feet. Yeah. Sometimes gold, sometimes other sort of cool stuff like that, but nothing really game-breaking. Nothing all too fancy. If you want to go fancy, there's a place right in here that spawns runes. It'll make you invisible, make you double damage and stuff like that. It's really cool. But again, this game is more balanced than what you'd expect. There's very few things that were really game breaking. I mean, there used to be this thing with the Dryad where you essentially would go into a game with the Dryad and you automatically lose because of how good she was. But they fixed that. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm just gonna put more into strength here. Got my passive going. Always starting to tear through these. Heal myself a little bit. You got the potions. Potions are only really good early game, very early game. So you may as well use them when you can. Yeah, and this is pretty much the whole game. If you've ever played an AOS type map, you know exactly what's going on here. And if you haven't, feel free. This is not an elitist type game. This is not like DOTA. Unless you really want it to be, and then it's really whatever you want it. I have no problem playing with people who've never played an AOS type game before. I actually almost prefer it because I'm not all too great myself. And if you can host games, that's amazing. I really appreciate it helping me out here, trying to get a little bit of pleasure left in this game. I know most people are already playing StarCraft. Not a whole lot of people are still playing Warcraft at all, but this game is really worth playing. It's worth reinstalling Warcraft if you ever uninstalled it, and it's almost worth buying Warcraft by itself because a lot of these custom maps are pretty much worth the price of the ticket. Yeah, and here we go. So you can see I'm level 8, leveling up pretty fast. 50 level I think is the maximum. And you end up with a very powerful hero. Uh, Towers end up going down pretty fast, and the team fights are just sick. So, yeah. But that's not going to happen around here because there are no enemies. Just pushing the towers, and as you can see, when you take a tower, at least we took this tower, I think, maybe not, but if you kill a tower, it doesn't die; it just becomes yours, which really helps because this game is all backdooring. You can sit on this little island here and wait for a lonely paladin like myself to be low health and just sabotage the crap out of me. But that all comes with, a learning curve and everything. So, as I was saying before, with hosting, I can't host. Not anymore, anyway. So if I could find someone that can host and is kind-hearted enough to give me a little bit of a nostalgia factor, that would be absolutely great. You can leave a comment below what you think of it, and if you're able to host, or if you even want to play, because I think they said something on the official HoSK forum about getting a bot eventually. And if you guys post enough comments on there saying, hey, I really want to try this game, I'm sure it'll get through to the guys, because they're all really great guys. They're a lot of fun. I think I was actually in a game with them once, and it was one of the more fun things I've ever done in my life, because when you have a community of people who aren't just total dicks like a lot of times they are in these type of games, it can be a lot of fun. I mean, obviously, it's not like going to a basketball game or anything. Like, I'm not trying to equivalent it with, like, seeing Michael Jordan or anything, but it's one of the more fun things you can do online. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Once you get to a higher level, though, you'll start to become extremely powerful, and you can start taking on this boss over here, which is the Sorrow Knight, which is why this is named Hands of the Sorrow Knight. And he's very hard, but it will give you an item that will increase one of your legendaries into like super legendary effects, and it's kind of cool. I've never been that high, that fed. Usually the game ends before that, but it's a cool addition. Make sure that the one guy that gets that first just kind of dominates and ends the game. Sorry. But yeah, if you guys are at all interested, go over to hoskmap.com. I'll have a link in the description about it, linking you to it, because it's really worth checking out. It really is, and I'll try to get a game together with some of you and probably make another video eventually of people that have played with me and gotten to know how to play this game. Because I realized that it's just not going to be that big of a thing anymore. Even in its heyday, it was not that big of a map. But playing it a couple more times just might be fun for some of you. I probably won't be uploading too many more videos unless we get a lot of people that want to play. Like, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but the whole point of this is to get like maybe 100 views, maybe 10 comments. Just trying to get some people to play once or twice, maybe 3 times before Warcraft inevitably shuts down. Pretty much it. This isn't too serious of a thing. You're not like, if you have no idea how to play, you're not waltzing in on my parade or anything like that. So I'm probably repeating myself by now, so I'm just gonna end this. Alright, so comment below, please. Subscribe if you really want to. I'm not forcing you to. And definitely go over to hoskmap.com. You don't have to make a profile or anything. It would be nice if you did, but yeah, and download the map. Play it by yourself sometimes. This isn't as dumb as this looks. It's still a little bit of fun by yourself, just to get the feel of the game, because it is kind of complicated at first. So I'm rambling. I'm actually signing off this time, and bye.